So my daughter had started this show on Hulu, and it's called Nine Strangers or something like that. Something about Nine Strangers. It's got a whole bunch of people in it, and they just did the fourth episode. I don't know how many episodes this series is going to be. I don't know if it's a short series. I don't know. Kind of seems like it's probably a short series. It's got Nicole Kidman, so she does a lot of those short series things. But so I don't know how many episodes it has coming, so I don't know how far I'm in. But so far, I really like it because the it shows so much about healing, and you know it has all these people who don't want to see themselves. They are living these hard, sad, tragic kind of existence, but they are so they're so it just shows exactly what's happening right now, because they want to believe they're the things that they built themselves to be, but they're not seeing themselves fully. They're not facing their own demons. They're not seeing their own dark side. And so therefore you stay stunted. You can't see your whole self if you're only looking at one way, you know? Like if I'm only looking at myself like this all the time, then, I don't even know my profile. I don't even know what the back of my head looks like. I don't know what I look like when I'm standing up there. I don't know what I look like in a crowd. Do you know what I mean? You got to see more parts of yourself to know yourself. And that is one thing too, just to interject this right here, is that is a part of, because we all go through this thing of not liking how we look. We like how that person looks. If we had that nose, we would look so much better. Oh my gosh, if my mouth was like that, I'd look so much better. We start like nitpicking. We start like being down on our own features and thinking somebody else's is better. And we could fix our face and it would look better if it was this way or that way. And there's so much of us wanting to change ourselves all the time. And so, oh, it was a really good point I wanted to make. Oh, dang it. So when you're wanting to, I keep thinking if I just go, it will pop back in there. But if you, so when you are, focused on those little things, breaking them down and trying to, just beating them down and stuff, then you're not seeing yourself as the whole. You know what I mean? You're not seeing the whole self. And that is what helped me so much. Like I could still go in and go, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, and just focus on those things. But when I step back and just go like the whole, then it's like, oh, I like the whole, I like this whole person I've created here. This, because it is your creation too. Like you're given a body. What do you do with it? How do you take care of it? How do you represent it in the world? How do you represent it to yourself? How do you see yourself and how do you show yourself is all part of that kind of thing. And that is being able to step back into the whole. But so many people are so focused on the nitpicking and being unhappy and being sad and feeling cheated that they can't step back and see the whole and see that they are the creator of this. And plus this whole thing with our minds being so caught up in this artificial matrix illusion that they've created to get us to be consumers and to, kill ourselves, free will, to willfully, with our own free will, kill ourselves with their, their pharmaceuticals, their diets, all of their agenda, all of their stuff. Right now you see the huge, huge thing what they're doing, getting people to give up their ability to procreate. That just blows my mind. All these people are fighting for this, oh, call me this and call me that. And I was like, nobody's going to be calling you anything. I don't know. So, everybody's got different stuff they're working on. But the more that you can quit nitpicking yourself and to really start, understanding yourself as a creation that you're creating, and if you have gone off the rails on your, the food stuff or the drugs or the alcohol or whatever the different things that have got you tied down to this reality, you got to break free from those chains, break free from those systems, take control and start creating what you want to put out there. Who do you want to be? But it really does take a lot away from that nitpicking, picking yourself apart. I don't even like to go in there anymore and start doing that, like, nitpicking different parts of myself, because it's tedious and does, like, it breaks you down. It makes you feel bad about yourself. It's unnecessary. This is about learning to accept yourself and create yourself and build yourself up and to protect yourself and, put yourself first and stuff. This is learning, your consciousness learning about itself. So anyways, there's, so much of that, but that wasn't what I was going to talk about. So in this show, there is all these people who are struggling with this creation that they've created, that it's like it's out of their hands. They don't know what to do, and all they're doing is feeling pain. And so this woman, which she had she did die and come back. I didn't all the way die and come back. I should have died. And just when you know that part, and you know that you are still here, and you know when they are telling you there's a reason, then like, that's a whole nother video. I talk about that stuff all the time. Knowing my purpose, knowing why I'm here, knowing, there's a reason, there's a point to it all. And so in this show, Nicole Kidman is somebody like me or whatever, who has had this tragic experience and has gone into about the healing part of it and how to heal and stuff. And so she's got a healing center, and then she picks and chooses who she wants to work with, because a lot of people apply, I guess, and she takes small groups, and this group that's come in, so it's going through this process of their realizations and their identifying their problems and, breaking through those walls. And it's really, really good. It's very moving. And I like some of the different things. Like, there's even a whole part about the magic mushrooms. I won't say the other word right. So the mushrooms being used in microdosing, and she goes through all the different things that it's actually being used for, or that can help. Like, we're moving into that now, where they're going to start, for pharmaceutical purposes. But there's already been people who have been doing it and doing studies and stuff about it. They already know the different things that will help. And there's so many issues that people are relying on pharmaceuticals for that are killing other parts of their body, when these natural grown substances can do, it even heals more parts of your body. So you've got chemicals that are destroying parts of your body so that you can feel better for whatever your different problems are you have. Or this natural thing that grows, that is provided by nature and, your God source, whatever you want to think, the creator. You have these here, and they can make you feel even better and even heal parts of your body and make you not have to rely on them. Yet this is the bad thing and this is the good thing in this upside down world. So I like that they put that out there about the uses of that, because that's where I think we're headed. I don't know how much of Big Pharma is going to collapse and all of this stuff. I don't know how slow. I don't know how, if there's any corporation out there that had any integrity at all, that was ever for mankind, or was always just sucking off of the energy of humanity. So, we don't know. We know they're collapsing. We see it happening. But will there be any drug companies in the future? I don't think so. I think it's going to probably go a little bit slower, but I think we're headed for a very different kind of ways of approaching our health. But, we got to get over all these obstacles. We got to get everybody on board. We got to get everybody to wake up and understand that you have to manage your health, and you have abilities, God-given abilities inside your body to be able to do that. So it's super exciting moving into this quantum system that's going to be about healing, and but using frequency and vibration in our own energy to heal ourselves. That is going to be, and the crazy thing is like, this is something that even as a child, like, I would know of, even though it wasn't there. Like, I would sit, like, I can't even tell you how many times, like, I will visualize trying to straighten my spine, which, yeah, yesterday I was thinking, I was watching something, I don't remember. Maybe it was just me saying that about the disabled guy, that there's people who can't even wrap their heads around that disabled people could be dicks too or something. But I was thinking it's kind of weird. I don't remember why I was thinking it, but it's kind of weird is that if I were going to be labeled, I would be labeled as, well, I already know I'm labeled as disabled, but also deformed because of the deformity in my spine. So if I were just to go by labels, look at how much that could hold me back. I'm just, the elephant man, basically. You know what I mean? He didn't even know. I don't think he let that hold him back. But, sometimes we let things hold us back that don't need to hold us back, like labels. That's why I'm like, let go of labels. Define who you are. You don't need labels. We don't need this micro managing of labels and this stomping around, kicking and whining because somebody called you the wrong thing. It's like, oh my God, there's more serious things to worry about than what the fuck somebody called you. Ma'am, Mr., Mrs., what the hell? Who cares? I doubt there's a woman alive who, by the first time she gets called ma'am instead of sweetie at a grocery store by somebody, I doubt she... Oh, that was a loud noise. I doubt she's, excited about it. That's just it's just I don't know, people are so weird, the stuff they want to bitch and complain about. So anyways, it's getting out of that kind of mindset too, that like, oh, I'm just going to whine my, stomp around and have fits. That's the kind of world we want to live in. Everybody stomping around having a fit because somebody called them the wrong thing. No, it's time to move towards acceptance of yourself, not demanding everyone else to accept you. Who cares? They've got their own issues. It's not your problem. Worry about yourself. Worry about your own growth. And that show, so far, I mean, like, I don't know where it's going. I don't know what's going to go down. But in the first 4 episodes, they do have some really cool stuff about healing. There was a couple things that it made me think too. There was one where a couple had been really disconnected, and there's a moment when they're bonding, and it was a very moving kind of moment to me. They're just outside looking across the field, and it's just the way that they communicated there for a second. It had taken such a huge leap from how they were in the beginning. And then there's another guy, and he was a famous athlete, and this guy came up and was trying to start shit with him, and this whole thing that I won't tell more about his thing, but it was making me think about how people think like it's okay just to go in someone else's space like that and then start attacking them and stuff. I was like, really weird. And I think I've talked about it before, because I've met a few famous people, living in Southern California and being in Hollywood all the time. You meet some and, you talk to them. And I went up to one before in a bar, and I thought he was a arrogant jerk. I thought he was a real asshole. But I sure wouldn't start, attacking them. It's like, that's entitlement right there, to think like you can go invade somebody's space like that and, push yourself on them. It just made me think, like, what is wrong with people to think that that's okay? You think everybody wants to talk to you all the time? No, you can't just force somebody because you feel connected to them. They don't even know you. So I don't know, but I think there's a lot of enlightening things in that show, and I think it does have a lot of good stuff about healing. And so if you are trying to, just recognize your own demons, just trying to figure it out, trying to get out of a hole, emotional hole, trying to understand things, check out that show. It is pretty good. Better go tend to the drama queen. Talk to you later.